Welcome back to Chow Time Pods. Your host, Red. I got a video today from the Modern King.
So Kentucky just shocked the nation with a 25% drop in divorces. But the question, of course, is how and what exactly changed within the past few years. Well, back in 2018, Kentucky became the first state to flip the script when it came to custody. You see, instead of automatically giving the mom primary custody and dad every other weekend Disney dad role, as many of you have seen over and over again, the law made 50-50 custody the default. Unless there's
Makes
proof
sense.
of real abuse or neglect, the court starts from equal parenting time. Here's why that's important. The more time dad spends with his kids, the less he will have to pay in child support. Before, divorces often meant that the mom walks away with the kid and a big child support check. After the law, that's not guaranteed anymore. Now critics, mostly women's groups, say this is unfair. They argue that some mothers feel trapped in bad marriages, even abusive ones, because they worry that dad will get half custody even if they divorce. And judges have been accused of ignoring abuse claims, all because the father didn't directly lay hands on the child. But here's the other side. Men see this as finally fair. Husbands say the system no longer rewards the wife for filing for a divorce just to get custody and child support. Instead, both parents have to share time, share responsibility, and share costs. So what Kentucky did was take out the financial incentive to blow up a marriage. And for a lot of men, that's exactly why they call this a win.
Divorce rates are dropping in Kentucky. I went there to figure out why. In 2018, Kentucky became the first state to make 50-50 shared custody the default. That means that children split their time equally between both parents, and fathers pay less in child support the more time that they spend with their children. Before that, judges decided custody based on what they called the best interest of the child.
Again, it's quotations, best interest of the child. That's what they used to think that what it was, but it was.
Fathers said that usually relegated them to an every other weekend arrangement, the so-called Disneyland dad effect, while mothers got to spend most of the time with their children. Since the law passed, divorce rates have dropped. Between 2016 and 2023, divorces in the state fell 25%, compared to 18% nationwide. It's hailed as a victory for fathers' rights, but the story is more complicated. Some critics of the law say that people are staying in abusive marriages because they're afraid of leaving their children alone with a parent with a history of violence.
Again, so you'd rather stay with them in the same roof with the child, even though you're not going to be with the child the whole time and the father's still going to get the father. Right.
One mom told me that her husband nearly killed her in 2023. She filed criminal charges and he was arrested. But less than 2 weeks after he got out of jail, a judge awarded him 50% custody of their son, indicating that the abuse wasn't a factor since he didn't lay hands on the child. The law has become a model for other states. Arkansas, West Virginia, Florida, and Missouri have passed their own versions of the equal custody presumption. Around 20 other states are considering it.
They are right. This is unfair. Because if it were truly fair, men wouldn't still be required to pay child support when both parents have split 50-50 custody. While real abuse does happen, we cannot pretend as if most marriages are abusive. Have you also noticed how they will try and claim women's safety is under attack anytime a law is changed, removed, or added that takes away their privilege to easily take advantage of a man?
Yeah, remember, removing privilege from someone becomes oppression.
They desperately try to convince you that they are defenseless, perpetual victims that need extremely one-sided and unfair protections, because all men are evil abusers, when they themselves know that isn't the case.
Today's video is sponsored by Anson Belts and Buckles, a family-ran brand that's completely reinvented belts. Most guys are wearing belts with more stretched out holes than a 304. But the great thing about Anson is they use this micro adjustable track system to be able to get the perfect fit. You guys know me, I don't take sponsors unless I actually use the product myself, and I think this product is one of the best belts out there. Just how well it can fit and adjust to your size and then easily remove or readjust, it's amazing. Their box set actually gives you 3 buckles and 3 straps, which gives you 9 combinations with just that one set. with quality that's next level and actually a lifetime guarantee. Honestly, I don't think I'm going to go back to old belts just because everything fits so perfectly well. And because Anson Belts and Buckles is actually sponsoring this video, if you click the bio down below or on screen and build a set yourself, you're going to actually get one extra buckle and one extra strap. That's actually 2 bonus pieces completely for free. That's 3 buckles, 3 straps that mix and match into 9 unique belt combos in one box. It's an exclusive deal you won't find anywhere else, so please hit that link, build your set, and upgrade your belt game today.
How come you represent dads and not moms?
Because dads walk into my office and they're like, I want out, here's $5,000, call me when you need me. When mom walks in, it's, I want his heart, his soul, every bit of his skin. I want all the money, I want the kids, I want to get him fired from the job, I want him in jail, I want him turned into the IRS. He's an a-hole loser who never loved me, and oh, I don't have any money, you got to go to him to get it anyways.
She fought so hard so that this man doesn't get 50-50, and she's screaming around about how she's so happy that she's got primary physical custody because she was looking at the 61,000. And she said, if I can get primary physical custody, then I can get access. I already got the kids, and now the kids allow me to tap in to $61,000. And when the arbitrator says, fine, I will give you the kids, she's like, yeah. And then the arbitrator says, okay, and I'm gonna give you $4,000, more than your kids need, $4,000 a month in child support. And y'all saw her reaction. She said, this is oh, come on. And look at Brian, like, maybe this one, I don't really care either way. Is it really? This is such.
Like, women don't truly care about their kids because, you know, asking for primary custody. They just want the payout that comes with primary custody.
There are going to be people online that say you didn't get married because he wanted you to sign a prenup.
Correct.
So why did you not just sign the prenup?
In that moment, it was, I'd rather walk away from something knowing that I chose myself than to spend the rest of my life not being loved the way that I love somebody.
Translation, I want to take his money and virtue signal while I do it.
Somebody.
Yep.
Does anyone else find it funny or even a little strange that the second Kentucky added laws for, equality and child support and custody cases during divorce, the suddenly divorce rates dropped 25%? It's almost like a lot of these women were only filing for divorce because they knew that they were going to win no matter what the circumstances were, right? Like, you could literally be a cheating tramp that has kids with other men and you're still going to get half. Not anymore. Now it's like, all right, we got to look at the case and see who's actually better for the kids, who can, has a place to provide for them and can actually, give them a stable environment. Not, okay, well, so you get the kids, and well, since the man works, he's gonna pay for it. That's not how that works anymore. And I just think it's funny that the second they enact this, the rates drop. It's almost like if women can't have their life subsidized by their ex, they're more willing to try to make things work. And don't be like, but women are staying in abusive relationships. 71% of abuse isn't unilateral, meaning at least 7 out of 10 victims simply lost the fight they started. Not trying to cheapen what real victims go through, just saying that most of you aren't that. In rare cases, don't, justify the whole, so you're still wrong.
We know from the endless examples how easy it is for an ex-wife to take the children, house, and assets, even in situations where the reason for the divorce was her own infidelity. All this law did was partially remove the financial incentive to destroy your own family.
Again, partially. They still can get a good chunk of, divorce assets,
leading to an immediate decrease in divorce. They simply know how powerful the ability to portray themselves as a victim while abusing these protections to get their way is, and anyone who dare limit that abuse is harming them. As we know, when you're accustomed to privilege, equality feels like oppression. So it's not a surprise when they claim that losing the ability to turn a man they divorced into a financial slave for at least 2 decades is a form of oppression. Even though it's just equality, through 50-50 custody.
My last relationship, we broke up because he asked me to marry him, but then he asked me to sign a prenuptial agreement, and I said absolutely not. I think that's bogus. I'm not going to sign a piece of paper that says that if you leave me, I get nothing. Like, no, I think that I should have half of everything that you've worked your entire life for. And I think that's fair.
I didn't date you for your money. I fell in love with your heart.
Well, then just sign the prenup and let this love story begin.
Love stories don't begin with prenups.
This one does.
Women don't need men for money.
Oh.
Statistics show single women own more houses than single men.
Yeah, from divorce.
The most shocking prenup I've ever seen, which was enforceable, had a provision that said that for every 10 pounds the wife gained in the marriage, she would lose $10,000 a month in alimony. He was very concerned that she was going to become less attractive and he was going to become more wealthy. So his solution to this was in the prenuptial agreement. He wanted a
I didn't even know you could do that in the prenup. Damn.
clause that said if they divorced, she was going to get like $70,000 a month for alimony. But for every 10 pounds she gained from the date of marriage, she would forfeit $10,000 a month worth of alimony. And it was designed to sort of create an incentive.
Damn, so if she gained 70 pounds, she ain't getting none.
That she would remain thin. And that was enforceable, meaning they tried to challenge and set aside that provision. And the court said, this is a disgusting provision. I don't know why you married this person, but it's enforceable. It's a contract. The two of you signed it and you had a right to sign it and you agreed to these rules, and they may be ridiculous rules, but you agreed to them and you have a right to do that. I think it's a kind of love. I think it's a form of love. Is it a form of love I'd be interested in? No, I think it's very shallow in some ways. There's something very honest about it. I mean, you can't argue with the fact that there's something very upfront about it. He was making very clear and putting in writing, here's the value you bring to this relationship. I consider your physical appearance vitally important to this relationship. And by the way, don't skip the other side of that equation. She was going to get $70,000 a month.
Correct.
That's a very impressive number. So I think she also understood there was a value to be attached to him as well. Is it something I would be interested in on either side of that equation? No. But do I have a right to say to someone that's not love? I don't think I have a right to say that to someone. I think that if this is an economy the two of you have agreed on.
Did you know that equal shared parenting laws decrease divorce rates? Well, it's true, and Kentucky proved it. In 2018, Kentucky passed a 50-50 equal shared parenting law. And since then, divorce rates have slowly declined. 25% declined, to be exact. Now, I know what some of these crazy toxic women are out here going to say, well, that's because women are locked in their marriages. No. That's because instead of walking away and thinking that they can weaponize the family courts to take the kids and get a shit ton of money, women realize that that's no longer possible in the state of Kentucky. So they're staying. They're working on their marriage. They're going to marriage counseling. And they're making it work in the best interest of their families. But the divorce system, where there's no fault and where there's no 50-50, it's easy for a woman to walk away because she knows she's going to get the lion's share of the assets. She's probably going to get majority custody, and she's probably going to get child support. So what's keeping her there? If it's not the perfect situation and it's not Prince Charming like in the movies, she doesn't want to stay. Toxic women will choose their happiness over their family. Men every day will choose their family over their own happiness. And that's the big difference. But when you take away the options of that financial gain of child support and the guarantee of custody, women are choosing to stay. 50-50 equal share parenting laws are not only in the best interest of children, I guess they're also in the best interest of marriages and the nuclear family.
I'm going to keep covering this because I think it's a wonderful law. And I think that it's wonderful even on top that even courts are looking at these abuse cases and women getting abused and all of these, when, you know, the stuff that lawyers do constantly when it comes to custodies with kids and things like that. Now they look at it, it's more scrutinizing and realize, oh, some of this abuse is probably somewhat fake. And if this abuse happened to you, but they love their kids, they still have deserved the right to be able to see their kids just like you do. Shout outs to court systems. Somewhat, I guess. Please please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that. And I'll catch you guys next time. Ciao.